What is kindness? Is it always saying yes to every request, no matter the cost? Or does true kindness lie in sincerity, even when it means saying no? This was a question Ethan had never considered until his life took a completely different turn. Ethan was an unassuming man with a gentle smile and eyes that always sparkled with a readiness to help. He believed that to be a good person, he always had to say yes. Yes to colleagues when they needed him to finish an urgent report, even if he was swamped with his own deadlines. Yes to friends when they needed to move house on the weekend, even if he had plans with his family. Yes to neighbors when they needed a babysitter, even if he was exhausted after a long day. "Ethan, could you help me finish this presentation? The boss is really pressing, and I have an important appointment," Sarah, his colleague, said with a pleading look. Ethan, despite clutching a towering stack of documents and his mind reeling with his own project, still nodded. "Sure, Sarah, leave it with me. You go ahead." Sarah smiled brightly, patted his shoulder, and hurried away, leaving Ethan with a mountain of piled-up work. That evening, long after everyone else had left, Ethan remained in the office, his eyes glued to the computer screen, trying to complete both his own work and Sarah's. He sighed, rubbing his tired eyes. "I just want to help people," he told himself. "Surely this makes me a good person." A few days later, Ethan's phone rang again. It was Liam, his close friend. "Hey, Ethan, are you free this weekend? Chloe and I need to move our stuff to the new apartment. There's so much we can't manage alone. Could you come help us out?" Ethan checked his calendar. That weekend, he had planned to take his mother for her regular health checkup. But then, the image of Liam's expectant face appeared in his mind. "Sure, Liam, I'll be there. What time?" He heard Liam's joyful shout on the other end of the line, and a familiar warmth spread through him, mixed with an indescribable heaviness. Month after month, Ethan became everyone's hero. He was always there when someone needed him, never refusing. His kindness, initially voluntary, gradually transformed into a habit, then into an unspoken obligation. People began to take it for granted. "Just ask Ethan, he'll do it. He never says no." Ethan began to feel utterly exhausted. His body was constantly in a state of weary fatigue. His spirit, too, slowly deteriorated. He no longer had time for himself, for his personal hobbies, or even for his family. Even his close friends rarely asked if he was okay, only contacting him when they needed help. He felt like a tool, used when necessary and discarded when no longer valuable. One fateful morning, Ethan woke up with a high fever, his entire body aching. He tried to force himself up, but couldn't. His throat burned, his head spun. He needed help. He picked up his phone, scrolling through the long list of names he had helped countless times. He hesitated for a moment, then decided to call Sarah. "Hello, Sarah? It's Ethan. I have a high fever. I can't come to work. Could you help me report to the boss and check those important emails?" Ethan struggled to speak, his voice hoarse. The other end of the line was silent for a moment. "Oh, Ethan, are you sick? What a shame. I have a really important meeting today that I can't miss. Besides, the boss is in a terrible mood, and I really don't want to bother him. You just rest up. I think it's better if you contact him yourself. Get well soon," Sarah said hurriedly, barely giving Ethan a chance to say another word, then hung up. Ethan was stunned. Tears began to stream down his face. He had helped Sarah countless times, even completed important tasks for her. Yet now, when he needed just a little help, she had refused him so coldly. He tried calling Mark, his close friend, whom he had helped move house no less than 3 times. "Mark, I'm really sick. Maybe I need someone to buy me some medicine and food." "Oh, Ethan? Sorry, I'm busy taking Lisa shopping right now. What's wrong? Why are you so sick? Take some medicine. Try to take care of yourself. I can't make it. Bye." Mark quickly hung up too, without a single deeper inquiry or a hint of concern. Ethan lay on his bed, his body trembling with fever, but his heart ached even more. He looked at the empty room, feeling utterly alone. The people he had so devotedly helped, the people he believed were his friends, were now nowhere to be found. His kindness, it turned out, was just a one-way street. He had given too much, only to receive emptiness and solitude in return. In the days that followed, Ethan had to battle his illness alone. He felt incredibly foolish. He had sacrificed himself, his health, his time, to please others, to prove he was a good person. But in the end, he received nothing but exploitation and indifference. When Ethan had somewhat recovered, he decided to go out for some fresh air. He wandered to a small park near his home. Sitting on a stone bench, he watched children play, couples holding hands, and felt a pervasive sadness. A warm voice spoke up beside him. "Young man, you seem to be carrying a heavy heart." Ethan turned. Beside him was an elderly woman with silver hair, kind eyes, and a benevolent smile. She sat down on the stone bench, placing her knitting basket on the ground. Ethan hesitated. "No, I'm fine." The old woman smiled. "Your eyes don't lie. I've lived long enough to know when someone is suffering. Would you like to share?" For some reason, in the face of the old woman's warmth and sincerity, Ethan felt all the burdens in his heart lift. He began to tell his story, about how he always tried to say yes, about his exhaustion, the exploitation, and the ultimate loneliness when he fell gravely ill. The old woman listened attentively without interrupting. When Ethan finished, she gently placed her hand on his. "My dear boy, you have a kind heart, and that is precious. But do you know, kindness without boundaries, without limits, ceases to be kindness. It becomes a blind self-sacrifice." Ethan looked up at the old woman, startled. "Self-sacrifice?" "Exactly," the old woman nodded. "When you constantly put others' needs above your own, when you allow others to take advantage of your good nature, you are losing yourself. True kindness doesn't demand that you endure harm or exhaustion. Genuine kindness must go hand in hand with self-respect." "But if I refuse, what if they think I'm a bad person?" Ethan asked, his voice filled with worry. The old woman smiled again, a compassionate smile. "Those who truly love and value you will understand and respect your decisions. They won't look down on you or abandon you just because you say no a few times. As for those who exploit you, they will leave. And that, my dear, is a good thing, because it will make space for more genuine relationships. Kindness isn't a ticket to buy approval or affection from others. Do you understand? Kindness is a gift, and that gift needs to be given consciously, with respect for both the receiver and the giver themselves." The old woman's words were like a ray of light piercing through the darkness in Ethan's soul. He had never thought of kindness that way. He had always believed he had to sacrifice himself to be loved. But the old woman said, kindness without boundaries becomes self-sacrifice. After his fateful encounter with the old woman, Ethan embarked on a new journey, a journey of learning to say no. The first time, when Sarah asked him to help with an urgent report again, Ethan took a deep breath. "Sarah, I'm sorry, but I have personal matters I need to attend to. I can't help you." Sarah looked at him with surprise, then a flicker of annoyance. "You've changed, Ethan. You weren't like this before." Ethan just smiled gently. "Yes, I'm learning to find more balance." Paul also called, asking him to help move a bulky item. Ethan politely refused. "Paul, I'm not really available. Could you hire a moving service or ask someone else?" Paul seemed annoyed, but Ethan no longer felt guilty as he had before. The first few days were difficult. Some people expressed disappointment, others even sulked,
But Ethan remained steadfast. He began to dedicate time to himself, to his family. He went for regular health checkups, he read books, he exercised. He started to feel healthier, both physically and mentally. And then something wonderful happened. His true friends, those who valued him for who he was, not for what he could do for them, began to emerge. He realized that when he set boundaries, his relationships became more genuine and profound. Those who exploited him gradually drifted away, or at least stopped making unreasonable demands. One day, another colleague, Mia, approached Ethan. "Ethan, I know you're very busy, but I'm having a bit of trouble with this project. Could you spare about 15 minutes to give me some advice? I'm really stuck." Ethan looked at Mia.